Faith is not the absence of questions. It is the courage to keep trusting even when every question remains unanswered. Anyone can believe when everything is going well, but faith is born when certainty dies. It is in the waiting, in the silence, in the unanswered prayer. My friend, a farmer plants a seed because he believes in the harvest he cannot yet see. A mother carries a child for months before holding the promise in her arms. The dawn begins long before the sun appears on the horizon. And so it is with God. So it is with God. Long before his promises becomes visible, he's already walking beneath the surface. Faith understands that God's silence is never his absence. My friends, do you know that roots grows in darkness before trees reach towards the light? Do you also know that every child is shaped in the hiddenness of the womb before the world celebrates its arrival? Do you also know that every promise God has ever fulfilled was once invisible? Every miracle was once impossible. Every testimony was once a trial. And every restoration first passed through the cross. God has always done his greatest works where human eyes cannot see. And so perhaps that's why faith is so precious. It refuses to let what is visible becomes greater than what God has spoken. Faith is one of the greatest mysteries God ever entrusted to humanity. It is seeing with the soul before the eyes can see. It is hearing the whisper of God while the world is shouting the opposite. It is standing on the promise when the evidence beneath your feet seems to be disappearing. Faith is not pretending the storm does not exist. No. Faith is believing that beyond every storm stands a God who has never been defeated. This word says, I believe it when I see it. But faith says, because God has spoken, I can see it before it appears. Because God has spoken, I can see it before it appears. So if you are in a season where you cannot trace God's hands, do not conclude that he has stopped working. The God who paints the flowers before spring, who prepared the dawn before morning, who calls stars by name, is not idle over your life. He's not idle over your life. The waiting is not wasted. The tears are not forgotten. The prayer has not fallen to the ground unheard. Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. For we walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. Faith is not wishful thinking. Faith is the soul agreeing with God before the word catches up with his promise. My friends, faith is choosing to trust the heart of God when you cannot yet understand his hands. And one day you will discover that God was faithful in every moment, even in the ones that felt silence. The victory is already won. The victory is already won. Though hell may roll, I will stand. Every promise stands in your peace. And the victory is already won. Here at your feet I remain. You are my portion, my strength. And the victory is already